We're going to come into our first balance pose. So I want you to stay at the front of your mat. I'm just going to turn and face the camera. I'll just move my block out of the way. Coming back into our mountain pose, turning the palms to the front of the room. Going to inhale, bringing the hands overhead. We exhale down to heart, and we're going to start with our right foot. So we take the right foot out to the side, rotate the knee. We've got 3 different positions. Level 1, balance the foot just on the ankle with the toe tapping the floor. Level 2, we bring the foot up to meet the calf muscle. Level 3, the foot comes up to the thigh. We want to press the sole of the foot and the inner thigh together, or the inner calf or ankle. We want to draw the knee away from the body. Shoulders back. Again, we inhale to lift. And just position your arms where they feel comfortable. So they can be out wide. We can bring them in, or we can lace the fingers and draw the arms back behind the ears. Focus on a still spot, and then find your breath. Bringing the hands back down to heart. Now you might find that your ankle wobbling around a little bit. That's perfectly normal. That's our stabilizing muscles working, the little ones that give us our balance when we're walking on our toes or walking along a thin line. We want to draw the knee into the center of the body, open the arms out. We flex the foot. So at any time you can tap down if you feel you're losing your balance a bit. We press the heel to the back of the room, and we come into our warrior 3. So again, you can start with the foot down on the floor and then start to come up. We want the torso and the heel to hit parallel with the floor. Focus on something nice and still. If you like, you can bring the arms behind or resting on the leg in front of you. Gently coming back to the floor. We're going to inhale, come all the way up onto our toes. That's where those stabilizing muscles come into it. Squeeze the ankles together. Bring the hands down to heart. Ready to do the other side. Left foot heads out. Turn the knee away. Level 1, ankle. Level 2, calf. And level 3, inner thigh. Find height with your arms. Position them where you feel comfortable. Remember to breathe. Drawing the hands back down to heart center. So remember, you can hold this as long as you like. Draw the knee into center. Flex the foot. Bring the arms out. And let's fly back into our warrior 3. Foot can tap down towards the floor. And our base leg, so our straight leg, just the slightest bend in the knee. Remember your arm positioning, a little less intense with them back behind the body, a bit more intense out wide. And if you really want to work hard, you can bring them straight out in front. Bring the hands back, bring the foot back to the floor. Let's come back to that toe stand, inhaling all the way up. Then exhale, bring the hands down to heart. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. We're going to exhale and we're going to head back into that forward fold. Step the knees back and let's set up back into our child's pose. Bringing the knees down to the floor, tuck the toes under, sit the hips back, rest the forehead down. Reaching the arms back out, nice and long. Coming back to your low plank position, and we're going to set the chest down towards the floor. We're going to come into our first spinal bend. So from here, if you like, you can grab your strap, just for a little bit of a helping hand, because we're going to come into our bow position. We're going to take the right hand, place it parallel with the front of the mat. We pick up the left foot, and then we take the left hand and we reach back towards the ankle. Now, if you're struggling reaching the ankle and pulling it in, or the foot, then simply grab your strap. It's not always pretty working with a strap, but it does work. Wrap the strap around your ankle, and then you can use that just as an extension of your arm. So from here, we're going to inhale, we're going to press the foot up and lift the chest away. So if you're not using a strap, pulling the foot in, flex the foot, and again, draw the heel towards the ceiling and lift the chest. So this is our half bow pose. Focusing back on the breath, pulling the shoulder back, opening through the front of the shoulder, and lifting the knee up off the floor. Slowly release back. Release the foot. Taking the left hand parallel with the front of the mat and coming to the other side. So bringing the foot up, reach the right hand back. Again, using your strap if you need by wrapping the strap around the foot. And then pressing the heel back and up, lifting the chest up off the floor, coming into that bow pose. Set the knee back to the floor, lower the chest, release the foot. Now, by all means, you're welcome to do that again, or we can take the hands underneath the shoulders, press the hips back to the heels. Counter stretch is our child's pose. Release the spine. And then from here, we shift forward to our tabletop. And we're just simply going to come into our pigeon pose. So we want to shift that right knee forward to our hand, and then we want to walk the foot towards our left hand. From here, we tuck the toe under and walk the knee back. So this is our pigeon pose. We want to flex the foot to make sure we protect our knee. And if you want just a little more support, grabbing your block and placing it under your hip. So if I turn around for you, I can show that. Taking the block, just popping it under your hip, and that just takes the weight off the hip joint. Otherwise, coming down, letting the hip drop towards the floor, and then just let the body fall over that front leg. Again, you can use your block and just play with the height. Rest the elbows down, a little bit higher if you like, or you can come straight down onto the floor. A variation of our pigeon pose is our dead pigeon. So if you're struggling here, you're just not feeling comfortable, it doesn't feel right, simply bring yourself up, and we can do the exact same position on our back. So rolling down, taking that right foot to the left knee, let the knee drop out, and you might feel the hip open straight away here. If you want a little bit more, we can reach through the triangle we've just made, pick the legs up, grab the underside of the knee, and pull the body in. So again, you can use your strap here, wrap the strap in, and pull the strap as well. Then simply release. And if you're in your lying pigeon, which we started with, we're simply going to bring ourselves up, tuck our back toe under, and then we're going to lift strong, take the front foot back to a high plank, and then sit back to child's pose, ready to do the other side. So bringing yourself tabletop, bring the knee forward, then walk the foot to the opposite hand, walk the back knee out. The further the foot is from the hip, the more intense it is. The closer the foot to the hip, the less intense. So pick where you want that foot positioned, keep it flexed, protect the knee. Lift tall through the chest, and again, play with your block, play with the heights. And if you're not feeling comfortable here, come over onto your back into dead pigeon using your strap or your hands. You don't even have to pull the legs in. Finding your depth, and then holding for a few deep, deep breaths. Again, to come out, we lift the chest, take the hands up, remove your block, tuck that back toe under, lift the knees strong off the floor, and then we want to lift the hips, come back to high plank, drop the knees, sit back into child's pose. Bringing yourself up, we're going to drop the hip to the floor. Lengthen the legs out and just position yourself back in the middle of your mat. Slide yourself forward. Grab the knees and let the body roll back. We want to roll the shoulders down underneath the body, and we want to position the heels as close to the hips as possible. Strong through the feet, we got 3 points of our feet, our big toe, our baby toe, and our heel. Fingers facing to the end of the mat. We pull our belly button towards our spine, we squeeze our bum, and we come into our bridge pose, lifting the hips, and then just holding here. Now we have got a few variations of bridge. We can roll the shoulders under a little bit more, lace the fingers, press the fingers towards the heels. We just get that little bit more height. We can walk the shoulders towards the feet. Grab the ankles. Now, if we're here, we want to make sure that our heels stay down. We don't want them coming up. So press the heels deep into the earth. And then we hold. Now again, you can use your block to position under your hips. So taking the feet under, lifting the hips up, and then just taking the block on its high edge, right underneath your lower back, so on your tailbone, and you can just rest down slightly. And then when you're ready, you can lift up and come back down. From here, releasing the shoulders, slowly rolling down the body, bringing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a nice big hug, counter stretch. We're going to place the left foot on the floor, lengthen the right foot straight out and take the arms out to the side. Our last spinal rotation, we're going to pick the hip up. We're going to roll onto that right hip and bring the knee across the body. And then we can position the foot either behind the knee, on top of the knee, or on the floor in front of the knee. Again, you can use your block to rest the knee on. And if you want a little bit more rotation, just looking to that back hand. Staying here for a few deep breaths, in through the nose and out. Then to come back, bringing the foot back behind the knee, roll the hip back, reposition the hips and come to the other side. Lift the hip up, roll onto the left side, bring the knee across the body, and again, positioning that foot where you feel comfortable. Set that foot back, gently roll, bring the knees in towards the stomach, grabbing the underside of the knees. One last time, give yourself a nice big hug. Gently roll yourself up, bring yourself into a comfortable position. Pull the shoulders back and down, take a nice deep flowing breath, inhale. And then exhale down to heart. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Completing your yoga workout. I hope you enjoyed it. Namaste.